everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Better Without, your guide to a gluten-free life. In our last episode, we talked to Dr. Peter Green about how not only to do a gluten-free diet, but how to do it in a healthy way. And so today, we're here at Wegmans.
And we're here at Wegmans because Wegmans does it right. Not only do they label things really well for gluten-free, but they also have a great way of labeling, a system of labeling their products so that it will guide us to do it healthy too. Because doing the gluten-free diet, just the gluten-free diet, isn't enough. We need to do the gluten-free diet in a healthy way.
Absolutely. Speaking of doing it in a healthy way, Ann, we'd love it if you take us inside and show us how it's done.
Let's go to the store. Research shows that traditional gluten-free diets tend to be low fiber, high calorie, high fat, low vitamins and minerals. So we want to make sure that people really have the best to regain their health and restore their wellness.
Well, you mentioned vitamins and minerals. So how do you tell people to really get to best absorb those?
One of the ways that we can get those into the diet most easily is, as we said in the beginning, shop the perimeter of the store. When you look at the fruits and vegetables section, tons of vitamins and minerals.
Right.
Using your fresh fruits and vegetables will provide a lot of those nutrients that you're missing in a standard gluten-free diet. You want to make sure that you're picking good color.
Okay.
So we want our beets, we want our greens, you want the orange things, the red things, you want as much variety as possible. And when we look at a gluten-free diet, one of the places that we find empty calories is in the cereal department. Many cereals, gluten-free or not, tend to be, hidden sources of sugar. But even within the gluten-free world, there's some great healthy choices.
Okay.
This is a great one. When we look at the label here, we can see that not only is this cereal low in sugars, it's high in fiber, but look at the grains it has. It has amaranth, it has quinoa, it has buckwheat. It has all those great grains that provide fiber,
Right.
B vitamins that we're missing, and great taste.
And these are a lot of grains that aren't in gluten-filled diets that are extremely good for you.
Exactly. And when we look at the hot cereals, things we want to look for here, again, are those grains. But again, a word of caution we talked about before, even though it's gluten-free and it is the alternative grains and it's the right grains to have, we want to make sure that they are labeled gluten-free.
Yes.
There's a lot of potential cross-contamination in those alternative grains.
Right.
And so you want to
Oats
make
being
sure,
a big source that need to be certified gluten-free.
Exactly. But as you said, grains are great,
Yes.
but not all at breakfast. So where else and how else are we going to get these grains in? And the answer to that is around the corner. We want to think of the healthy gluten-free diet as really meeting three principles: whole, fresh, and lean. And when you think of that, things like brown rice, quinoa, amaranth, buckwheat are all great choices.
Yes.
So we also need to be very aware that we may want something simple, like an easy pasta dinner.
Yes, we do.
But again, the choices can be a multi-grain or whole grain choice. Ingredients here are corn, rice, and buckwheat. Simple, easy, no sugar, has a good source of fiber, good taste, but again, we live by grains alone. So
Right.
what are we going to put with it? Fruits and chop up vegetables to go with the pasta.
Absolutely.
How about some beans?
Perfect.
But now, the other thing Wegmans does that I love, as a dietitian, this is like near and dear to my heart. They label all of their products with a wellness system. So not only is it labeled gluten-free, which means it's tested, but it's also labeled if it's lactose-free, vegan, high fiber, and heart healthy. So using their labeling system, you can make great gluten-free healthy choices. But this is main courses. We also want to snack healthy because, to be honest, food and the diet should be fun.
That's right. I love a snack.
So healthy snacks?
Healthy
Not
snacks.
a problem. What we want to do here is, again, look for alternatives to the standard high fat, high salt, high calorie, no nutrient potato chips. Let's look for some other things. Rice-based, there's even rice and bean chips. You want to look for, again, gluten-free certification, but you also want to look for fiber. These chips and some yummy salsa would provide you 4 to 5 grams of fiber per serving, tons of taste, tons of normal snacking with your friends,
Yes.
but all healthy.
Awesome.
What about that main part of the meal? What do we use there? Usually that's the protein part. Meat. But we can make good healthy choices there
Right.
too. Now we started at the fish counter because fish offers that excellent protein source. It's high protein, it's low fat, but it also offers the right kinds of fat. It has both the omega-3 and the omega-6 fats, so it's totally healthy, totally naturally gluten-free. When you think of your fillets, they're easy preparation. Throw some mango salsa on there, add that brown rice that we talked about earlier. You've got a completely delicious gluten-free meal that's also very healthy.
Awesome. And let me ask you this. Is red meat a good source of protein for somebody who's gluten-free?
Red meat is a good source of protein. The concern with red meats is the fat content
Okay.
and the type of fat. Red meats tend to have higher fat content as well as it's more of a saturated fat.
Okay.
So the current dietary recommendations are to use red meat, but to limit it to about 3 servings a week.
Okay. You know, the grains have a little bit of iron in them.
They do.
But is there a way for us to be able to absorb them even better?
Well, it's an interesting question because your animal proteins, whether it's fish, chicken, poultry, are all the most absorbable sources of iron.
Okay.
But to enhance the absorption of iron from either the grains or the vegetables, the thing to do is to either use a little bit of your animal protein in that meal. So think of a stir fry or something where you
Okay.
have not a lot of protein. Not
You don't have to eat the whole steak.
you don't have to have the whole cow, but just a little bit will enhance that absorption.
Okay.
Or to add a high vitamin C content type food. Think of your pasta, a whole grain pasta, and a tomato sauce. That vitamin C will enhance the absorption of the iron from the grains.
Good tips.
Great things, great ways to do gluten-free healthy.
It was really cool today, Ann, to get to walk through Wegmans with you and not only hear about how to do a gluten-free diet, but to do it in a really healthy way.
Well, and that's important. Remember last episode when we talked to Peter Green, he said the importance of seeing a dietitian. Well, part of that is to make sure that you're not just doing gluten-free, but you're doing gluten-free right. We need to be healthy. We need to make sure that we're, getting the vitamins and fiber in. And the key takeaway is that we eat whole foods, we eat fresh foods, we eat lean foods. Make sure we get our grains in for the fiber. We do that, and we're treating more than just the diet. We're treating our whole lives. It's important to live gluten-free, but to enjoy that. I mean, think of this option. Not only can we shop, but we can dine gluten-free and healthy.
That's right. Speaking of enjoying gluten-free, shall we?
Cheers.